What is China's DeepSeek and why is it freaking out the AI world? DeepSeek, a Chinese AI startup that's just over a year old, has stirred awe and consternation in Silicon Valley after demonstrating breakthrough artificial intelligence models that offer comparable performance to the world's best chatbots at seemingly a fraction of the cost. DeepSeek's emergence may offer a counterpoint to the widespread belief that the future of AI will require ever-increasing amounts of power and energy to develop. Global technology stocks tumbled in late January as hype around DeepSeek's innovation snowballed and investors began to digest the implications for its US-based rivals and their hardware suppliers. What exactly is DeepSeek? DeepSeek was founded in 2023 by Liang Wenfeng, the chief of AI-driven quant hedge fund Highflyer. The company develops AI models that are open source, meaning the developer community at large can inspect and improve the software. Its mobile app surged to the top of the iPhone download charts in the US after its release in early January. The app distinguishes itself from other chatbots like OpenAI's ChatGPT by articulating its reasoning before delivering a response to a prompt. The company claims its R1 release offers performance on par with OpenAI's latest and has granted license for individuals interested in developing chatbots using the technology to build on it. How does DeepSeek R1 compare to OpenAI or Meta AI? Though not fully detailed by the company, the cost of training and developing DeepSeek's models appears to be only a fraction of what's required for OpenAI or Meta Platforms Incorporated's best products. The much better efficiency of the model puts into question the need for vast expenditures of capital to acquire the latest and most powerful AI accelerators from the likes of NVIDIA Corporation that also amplifies attention on U.S. export curbs of such advanced semiconductors to China, which were intended to prevent a breakthrough of the sort that DeepSeek appears to represent. DeepSeek says R1 is near or better than rival models in several leading benchmarks such as AIME 2024 for mathematical tasks, MMLU for general knowledge and Alpaca Eval 2.0 for question and answer performance. It also ranks among the top performers on a UC Berkeley-affiliated leaderboard called Chatbot Arena. Stock market today, Nasdaq futures tank, Dow tumbles 350 points as AI fears rock tech stocks. Nasdaq futures plunged on Monday to lead a stock rout on Wall Street as a Chinese startup rattled faith in U.S. leadership and profitability in AI, hitting NVIDIA, NVDA, and other big tech stocks. Contracts on the tech-heavy Nasdaq 100 NQ equals F sank 4.3%, while S&P 500 futures ES equals F tumbled 2.4%. Dow Jones Industrial Average Futures, YM equals F, fell 0.9%, or about 380 points, on the heels of a winning week for the major gauges. Markets have been rattled by claims by China's DeepSeek that its AI assistant uses cheaper chips and less data than leading models, but performs equally well. A surge in DeepSeek's popularity has spurred a scramble by investors to reassess bets that AI demand-driven growth will keep fueling gains for stocks. AI bellwether NVIDIA's shares tumbled over 11% in pre-market trading, as chip-related names took a bruising. ASML lost 9%, while ARM, Broadcom, AVGO, and Micron Technology MU also got hammered. Shares of Meta, and Microsoft MSFT both slid about 6% amid worries about megacap's hefty investment in AI. Tesla, TSLA, and Amazon, AMZN, also lost ground as tech sold off across the board. Big tech earnings season kicks off this week, highlighted by results from Apple, AAPL, Tesla, Meta, and Microsoft. Eyes will be on guidance for future profit as DeepSeek casts doubt on prospects for revenue. Investors started to flock to assets seen as safe as stocks plunged. The 10-year Treasury yield, TNX, fell as much as 12 basis points to 4.5%, the lowest level in over a month, while haven currencies including the yen and the Swiss franc surged. In the background, trade war concerns revived during a face-off between President Donald Trump and Colombia over the weekend. Trump threatened to impose 25% tariffs on the country's goods in a row over deported migrants, before putting the duties on pause after a deal was reached. The dispute underlined concerns that Trump won't hold back on turning to tariffs as a way to push through a range of policy aims. The Federal Reserve will hold its first policy meeting of 2025 this week, with officials are already on watch for quick-fire moves by Trump that could pose challenges to the central bank. The president has called for the Fed to lower interest rates, signaling a coming clash with policymakers, who begin their two-day gathering on Tuesday. I'll have more to say on this on the Opening Bid podcast episode dropping on Yahoo Finance this morning. But the reaction sure seems overdone. The notion that Meta is suddenly going to reverse its billions of dollars being spent on AI infrastructure powered by NVIDIA chips seems far-fetched. Further, can one even trust the claims by DeepSeek? And lastly, DeepSeek's alleged advances are unlikely to alter the demand backdrop for NVIDIA this year, if at all. Good to really question this type of news thoroughly. NVIDIA falls 12% in pre-market trading as China's DeepSeek triggers global tech sell-off. U.S. technology firms plunged in pre-market trading as Chinese startup DeepSeek sparked concerns over competitiveness in AI and America's lead in the sector, triggering a global sell-off. Shares of chip designer NVIDIA, a huge beneficiary of the AI hype, were down 11.8% at 7:05 a.m. ET ahead of the market open. Netherlands-based chip companies ASML and ASM International tumbled 8.9% and 13.6% respectively in European trade, while in Asia, Japanese chip-related stocks were broadly lower. DeepSeek launched a free open-source large language model in late December, claiming it was developed in just 2 months at a cost of under $6 million, a much smaller expense than the one called for by Western counterparts. Last week, the company released a reasoning model that also reportedly outperformed OpenAI's latest in many third-party tests. The developments have stoked questions about the amount of money big tech companies have been investing in AI models and data centers. DeepSeek clearly doesn't have access to as much compute as US hyperscalers and somehow managed to develop a model that appears highly competitive. Srini Pajjuri, semiconductor analyst at Raymond James, said in a note Monday. On one positive implication, Pajjuri said DeepSeek could drive even more urgency among US hyperscalers, which are large computing infrastructure players like Amazon and Microsoft, to leverage their advantage in having access to graphics processing units, GPUs, to set themselves apart from cheaper options. GPUs are a key part of the infrastructure required to train huge AI models. NVIDIA is the market leader in GPUs. Analysts at Citi said DeepSeek's large language model had prompted investor inquiries around cost of compute. They note that, while the dominance of the U.S. companies on the most advanced AI models could be potentially challenged, the access these tech firms have to advanced chips poses an advantage. Thus, we don't expect leading AI companies would move away from more advanced GPUs. The recent announcement of President Donald Trump's $500 billion Stargate AI project is a nod to the need for advanced chips, they added. Analysts at Bernstein meanwhile expressed doubt over whether the DeepSeek tool was actually built for under $6 million, arguing the figure does not include all the other costs associated with prior research and experiments on architectures, algorithms, or data. They stressed that DeepSeek's models look fantastic, but we don't think they are miracles, and said that panic about the death knell of the AI infrastructure complex as we know it was overblown.